Good morning to all of you. Last class we have discussed exception handling, right? Now I just go through that, then we will move on the next. Yeah, last class we have discussed the error and also seen that exception handling and what are the mechanism available for the doing the exception handling. So there are five techniques we have used for taking the exceptions. So here there is three types of errors over there. There is five exception handling mechanisms over there. Before that, then first we have what is mean by error. The error is nothing but it is the mistake. It is done by a programmer. That is, it is almost the fault of programmer. It will be occur. Other than that, it is the what is mean by debugging. What is mean by error? Error is nothing but it is the mistake. It is almost fault of the programmer, and also it refers the bugs. So here, when you go for the processing of finding and eliminating the errors are called debugging. Errors are called the process of finding and eliminating the errors are called debugging. Other than that, there are three types of errors: syntax error, runtime error, and logical error. So here, when you what is mean by syntax error? The syntax errors are the errors which are displayed when the programmers do mistake. It may be a leaving out of a keyword or a leaving out of a symbol or like such as colon, comma, brackets like that. We have missing out the symbols and misspelling the keyboard or incorrect intent. So these are all done by the programmers. These are all called the syntax error. And then runtime error is nothing but it is the program is syntactically correct, but that is free of the syntax error. So that is it may be exit unexpectedly during the execution. Encounters the runtime error. When the runtime error will be coming, so it may be a by division by zero. When you given the input, it will be executed, but doesn't show some does not show any error, but it is not providing the correct output for you. That is runtime errors. That is, it may be a division by zero. Example, division by zero, performing an operation as incompatible types. That is data types, and using the identifier which is has not been defined. These are all the example for the runtime. Logical error, and next one is the logical error. The logical errors are the most difficult to fix compared to other errors. Maybe using the wrong variable or using the integer division instead of floating division. These are all the example for the logical error. So the logical error is little most difficult to fix the bugs in your program. So these are all the three types of error. Then next one is exception. What is mean by exception? Yeah, the exception is nothing but an exception is an error that happens during the execution of the program when that error occurs. When that error occurs. It may be a IO error, or it may be a import error, or it may be a value error. There are three errors in Python. One is IO error, import error, value error. So these are all available in the Python. Other than that, we are going to see about the handling mechanism. That is how we have to handle those error when they occur. So here there are five exception handling mechanisms over there. One is try catch, try multiple except, Then try except else, rise exception. The fifth one is try except finally, try except finally. So these things we are going to we already discussed the first three, I think so. So try except, try multiple except, then try except else. These things we already we have completed in the last class itself. So just we have to check, just given the overview of that. A try is nothing but when you using the try except statement. The try and except statements are used to handle the runtime errors. How we have to use first one, try statement. Try intent, then statement, except keyword, then the statement. How it will be work? First we have to use the try statements in between the try and except keywords or executed. So if there is no exception occur, then the exception has been skipped and the execution of try statement was finished. So suppose if an exception occurs during the execution of try phase, so it will, the rest of try has been rest of try statement has been skipped. Then if it is matched with the type of exception named, after that they accept the keyword except keyword, that except space was executed. Then the execution continues after the try statement. Listen, this is a try exception except statement. Here we are giving the try keyword statements. Listen, we have to write the n number of statement here. When you when you execute the program, that statement will be started executed after the try keyword. If there is no exception, it will be execute and it will be skipped. This statement except statement will be skipped. This will be skipped. So here, suppose if any occurs in between this statement, in this in between, means there is any error occurs, then it leave all this below statement. Then it will be go for the except, where we have to specify the name of exception here. So automatically it will go according to the exception name, it will be go on execute the exception statements. So suppose and then it will be continue from there. That is where it will be shift transfer to the except. Then other statement will be after execution of these statement, it will be continue the below statement of the exception. So that is the thing we have done here. The next one, what is the listen, that is the, there is the example for this. Listen, there is a x and y is the we are taking the two values here. The try is the keyword for exception handling. Here the result is the statement and we have to print this. We are only given two statements here, so it will be execute this one. If there is no error, it will be execute the print statement and it will be skip this statement. It will be skip this statement. It will be skipped this statement, right? So then suppose if the that is we have predefined that is zero division error of the exception. Suppose what if the error exception error occur here, then it will be omit this statement. Then automatically it will be find the exception, go for the keyword except, refer the name of the exception, and then it will be execute this statement, and then it will be omit these statements. So here enter the value of x and y, where it will be the correct result, it will be automatically execute the statement. The next one, the try multiple except, like previous one, try multiple except statement is the type, it is one of the exception type. It must be a different except statement. Different except statement. There is a more than one except statement here. Like a previous example, here also we are using the try except keyword. Try and except here. Instead of here there is only one try and one catch. I mean one except. Here one try, but we are able to use more exception keyword. That is a multiple except statement. That is multiple except that statement. Here the exception must be different for the except. Here the error one may be some the errors will be different, and the name of the errors also different. Here the keyword is common to all, the except keyword is common to all, but here we have to define the name of the error, then error 1, error 2, error 3. So when you execute the try statement, it will be if the error occurs, automatically it refers the exception keyword with the name. So if it will be matched with the error, then it will be execute the statement. So therefore, when the error occur, automatically it will be go for the exception with the name. It will be find the name of error. If it is match, it will be execute the below statement. Other than that, it will be go for if it is not match is not found, then it will be check the next exception. Then if it is also not match, then it will be move on the next one. Like a else statement. Then when you using the if else, right, like the way it will be act. If you are using more than one if statement or else statement, it will be check one by one, like the way it will be act according to the name of error. So this is the example. Here we are getting the two values of x and y. Here we are doing two different operations, that is sum and divide. So here we are using the each and both a print statement for every operation. That is sum. It will be print the sum of the value, that is x and y, and also print the sum value. Here also the divide x divide by y, then print the exception, I mean division of the values of x, y, and division value. So here exception is, this is the first exception, this is the second exception. Here look at the name of the exception, that is the first one name error, the second one is zero division error. Zero division error. So when you given the value for a x and y, it will be sum, that is x and y is. So here instead of the value, for example, when you enter 10 plus 10, automatically it will be sum this value and it will be print. Suppose here the both are the integer value, right? The x and y values are integer. Instead of the 10 10, I will be given a comma 10. What will be happen? The a is the not the proper type, because we have given here integer. So what it will be do? So it will be automatically found the error here. So automatically it will where it is go. That is the name error. The input must be a number, that is the input must be a number. So instead of the integer, we will give some other value in the particular part. What it will be automatically rise the error, so automatically to go for the exception of the naming error. Other than that, suppose I will be given the value of x and y, so it will be go division by zero error. So here when you x value is 10, then it will be 0. So x and y value must be like that, then automatically it will be the 0 division error. So when you're taking according to the value, it will be catch the name first, then it will be execute the below statement under those exception. The next one, try except else. the try except else, the syntax is try statement except and else. What how it will be executed? Um, when you use the try except else, the else part will be executed only if the try block does not raise the exception. Listen carefully. The else part will be executed only if the try block does not raise the exception. So Python will try to process all the statement inside in the try block. If the value error occur, if the flow of control is immediately pass into the except block and remaining statement in the try block will be skipped. Try block will be skipped. Here, the else part will be executed only if the try does not raise any exception. Does not raise any exception. Are you clear? Here it will be execute all the statement here. If the any error is not raised, that is while executing the try block, it does not raise any exception, the else part will be uh, e- when the else part will be executed only that does not raise the exception. So other than that it won't be executed. So Python will process all the statement inside the state try block, try to process all the inside value. So if any error occur in the flow of control, it automatically pass the except block, and it will the remaining statement in try block will be skipped. It will be skipped. We will see the example for this. Now the example here, x and y is the input for the program. Then we have to take try, and result is here x divided by x minus y. Exception is divided by 0. So here, what we are going to do, we are given something else. Listen here, as the syntax try, except, and else. There is a try block. Now this is the exception block, and it will be a else block. First, when you given the value of x and y, then it will be executed. If uh, if any exception is not raised in the particular part, if does not raise any execution, then only else part will be executed. Other than that, it will be automatically execute the what is that listen, exception will be executed, then it will be exist from this. The next one is the rise statement. There is the fourth one is the rise statement. The rise statement is allow us the programmer to force the specific exception to occur. The rise statement is allow us the programmer to force the specified exception to occur. So that point of view, we have to use the rise statement. So how we have to use the rise statement in program? So here, given a simple example, we have to see that example, that is rise the keyword name error is the user defined name for the error name. So we have to given some when you give like this output traceback, that is most recent call, that is yesterday in line 1 in module, that is name error in hi there. So here in automatically rise, we have to force that is the rise statement is allow us to force the specific exception to the error. That is, whenever we need, we have to include some statement, and we have to control the flow of program. If you need to determine whether the exception was raised but do not intend to handle a simpler form of raise statement allow you to re-raise the exception. Re-raise the exception. If you need to determine whether the exception was raised, then but don't want to intend to handle it. A simpler form of the way of we have to use the rise statement allow us to re-raise the exception. So here the rise statement is only for the enforcement, that is enforcement, that is force to specify the exception during the program. So if you need to determine whether the exception rise, but I don't want to intend to handle it. So the simpler way we have to rise, use the rise statement. It allow us to re-rise the exception. So here. That is the main thing, main purpose. We have to include the that is without intention we have to add some error, I mean raise the error here, then it will, the exception will be um, re-raise your exception during the rise statement. During the rise statement, when you are using the rise statement, automatically it will be rise the error. Mostly it will be used for the class. When you go for the class exception handling, the rise statement allows the programmer to force the specific exception to occur. That is the sole argument, that is it may be indicates the exception to be raised. Here, this must be an exception instant or exception class. In this way, we have to that is, we want to know, that is rising exception, what is the regular one, or rising exception, that such a errors, that is divided by zero error or something, you might not be handled. When the encounters of error, we have to use that is how to say that most of the common use of a rice construct, it will be used. There is no further statement in the current block of code is executed, then we have to use the rice exception. So the next one is just a minute. Okay, so sorry for the delay. And the next one, try catch finally. That is try except finally. Here, the final cause is always executed before leaving the try statement. Here, there will be a syntax must be a try catch finally. So there will it will be different from differ from others other syntax. Here we are using the three blocks try except and one more thing we have to add it finally. So here in the finally statement is used for that is finally cause is always executed before leaving the try statement whether an exception occur or not. Listen, the finally case is always executed before leaving the try statement. Before leaving the try statement. Do you clear? Here, the it should be always whether the exception may be occur or not. Whether it is always executed the final case. That is here the finally statement should be executed without with exception or without exception. So here the finally keyword is always executed before leaving or leaving all the statement in try statement. I mean try block, whether the exception may occur or may not occur. The finally keyword is also executed on the way out. That is how it is called, on the way out. When any other block has been executed, it will be left via the break or continue or the return statement. So we here also the finally statement we have used whether it will be either the rise it will be rise the exception or not. It should be executed the finally statement. It should be executed the final statement. So here when you for example when you take the previous example here also, we will continue with the same example in just a minute. Listen, the example we have taken the same example, that is x and y. We have to get the try. We can use the three blocks here. One is to try, the second one is try, second one is exception, and third one is the final. So we have used the three block of statements here. The first one is the try statement here. Other than that, we have used three statement in the second block, and one more is here. So this is the first block statement. That is a single statement here. There is else part also available with this. Then third one is we are having one more print statement. When you go for a try execution, it will be execute and if it is suppose based on your value, it will be rise the exception or not. But it should be execute the final statement. It should be execute the finally statement. If the error occurs, this statement will be executed division by error, or it will be print the result. So here, if the error is raised or not, but the finally keyword that is a finally block has been executed and it will be printed in your output. Listen the output here, enter the value of a and b, then we have the result as 2, and also it will be displays the finally keyword. So that is the thing, whether it has been raised the exception or not, but it should be executed the finally statement, finally block. So that's all the exception handling mechanisms. Then we have to see the Other, the next topic we have discussed in the next class. So that's all your class today. Mm, just a minute. Using the exception handling, we will do some exercise program in the next class. So this is we have covered two topics. One is exception handling and file operations. Exception handling and file operations in the unit 3. So we have check some other methods, and we have see some sample coding in the next class. And we are also going to discuss about the exception handling methods in the next next coming next up classes. So you have to mark your attendance. That's all your class today. We have to use some programs. You have to write some programs. I will be given in the next class, so that we will discuss the exception handling methods in next class. So I enter your enrollment number. You can leave.